Yeah.
I
All
really
right.
wanted to be sick today.
Well, hey, guess what? I just hit the instead of the share page, I just hit the start broadcast. So let's get going, shall we?
hmm
Anyways, so with that said, my name is Paul Douglas, and I am the industry giant and the search engine bully. And I have on this video with me the other search engine bully and co-author of the book with me, Optimize This, Rob Ansbach from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Um, Today we're going to be talking about backlinking that wins. Because there are different types of backlinks that you can get, and some will up and increase the rankings of your website, and actually some will do more harm than good. Um, Rob, what's been your experience with backlinking?
Early on, I would say let's go back a couple years ago, and everybody wanted to get on that backlink bandwagon. And you could get backlinks added to your site for X amount of dollars. The problem was is that people were taking advantage of the loophole in the system and getting backlinks to everything to try to trick Google into saying, hey, I got all these backlinks. Well, so if you're a bookstore and you're selling books and you want to, increase your leverage on Google, you have all these backlinks. Now, the problem with the whole scenario of linking everything to your site was that the backlinks weren't relevant. So you have these bookstores. Now they're linking to porn sites. They're linking to sports entertainment. They're linking to things that aren't relative or relevant to their site. So Google decides, hey, you know what? We believe that you guys are taking advantage of this system, so we're going to eliminate the backlinks or eliminate the ones that we believe are not relevant to your site. But the people that had all these links were starting to see that their site was actually taking a hit and not showing up on Google anymore because they had all these backlinks that didn't belong. So, I've been telling people for years, if you're going to link with somebody, make sure that you're linking to people that share your common industry, that they're relevant to what you're doing, and they actually increase the value of what you're delivering to others.
Okay, I'm going to apologize to everybody because my dogs decided that they're going to, you know, challenge that cat that is walking out in front of our house here. Um, but thankfully, they're just staring and not barking. Anyways, we'll edit that out,
I'll keep it in.
or maybe we'll keep it live. Uh, one of the things that you know initially the idea behind a backlink is that when someone would link to your website or to your content, uh, the algorithm and the search engines was set up in such a way that that backlink was considered a vote of confidence or a vote of
hmm
authority for your website. And it's now become something that is, as you mentioned, has been used, abused, and exploited to the point where it's not as effective anymore as it once was just to go out and get a whole bunch of backlinks. 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, I was telling customers of mine that, uh, you know, the website that has the most backlinks to it wins. And that was
hmm
a very relevant piece of advice at the time. Now, backlinks, although a lot of people will say are dead, I have to disagree. Backlinks are as as very valuable now, if not more so, than they ever have been. But
The
they have
right
to be
backlinks.
the right backlinks,
Right.
absolutely. They have to be relevant to the subject. So again, one of the more powerful backlinks 2 years ago was to get a backlink from a university or an EDU site. Well, that was just exploited all over the place to the point where having a backlink to your site from a university has no relevance now. So what does work, and what do you do now to create a backlinking system for your website that wins? There's a number of different things that you can do. I mean, one of the ways, I guess, one of the things that you can do now, which is a variation of what was once known as a link wheel, uh, where people would create all these little mini sites and they would be linked to one another and they would link to other websites. So they would create the value of all these sites, increase that value, and then pass on what's known as the link juice from these sites to you. Now, there was two problems with that. One, uh, it became very obvious very quickly to the search engines that this was a link wheel or a link network, and they quickly got themselves shut down and blocked, and then from that penalized. The second problem is, imagine a bucket of water, if you will, and you're pouring water inside that bucket. Let's say those are all the incoming links to your website. And on the bottom of that bucket, you're going to be poking holes into it. Now, if you've got more water running out than you have coming in, you'll never fill that bucket. But if you have enough flow of water going into that bucket than you have going out, even though you have that leak, you will still fill up that bucket. And that's the way it works with backlinks into a website. If you have more links coming in than you have going, if you have more links going out than you have coming in, then backlinking isn't going to help you very much. So with these link networks, they have links coming in, but they have thousands of links going out. So it's not passing value on to you, the website owner. But what you can do is create your own private link wheel. And this is where you would go out and you would create your own content value outside your website. You can do this on video sharing sites like Vimeo, Dailymotion, YouTube. You can do this on social sites such as Facebook, WordPress, Blogger, Google Plus, Twitter, and have these all linking back to your website and to one another, and then have your content and links going into these sites. Now, the reason I recommend these sites, they're too big to slap. If you start sending trash into YouTube, for example, uh, and say backlinking a video from a porn site, not that I would ever recommend that, but if you did, Google's not going to penalize YouTube. Okay, it may not pass a whole lot of value up to you, but it's not going to penalize YouTube. It's their property. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook, if you take a look at our Rex, is the number one, two, or three most viewed website in the world right now. Um, it's too big to slap. Twitter, very much the same thing. Even Dailymotion and Vimeo are at the point now they're getting too big to slap. So if you were to build your own private link circle around or link network around your own website, it's going to give you two benefits. One, you're going to have passive, very valuable, relevant backlinks. I mean, let's face it, if you have a website about dog training and then you set up dog training videos on YouTube, that's a relevant backlink from to have that dog training video on YouTube coming back to your site. If you're going to be blogging about that on Blogger or WordPress.com about dog training, and then they're linking back to your main website, those are relevant backlinks. So some of the other things that people have also used, and still use effectively would be submitting articles.
Mm-hmm.
And, Rob, we've talked about, you know, duplicate content being less effective or hurting your website. And, you know, there's a difference, though, between duplicate content and syndication.
Hmm.
You know, if you take, for example, at the time of this recording, we were just days away when the first U.S. Ebola patient had passed away in a Dallas hospital. And
Hmm.
if you did a Google search on, U.S. Ebola patient dies in Dallas hospital, you would see all these same news reports that have been syndicated out by the news wires to all the various news outlets, newspapers, and other media throughout the world, all carry the same content.
Hmm.
But you'll also notice that whoever put it out first got the highest ranking.
Hmm.
Everyone else that followed came in behind. So uh, when you syndicate content, same thing. You can put out a piece of content somewhere, and if it's the same, well, it's not going to go above it. But you still have that coming in. The danger with this, though, is you want to also make sure that it's relevant, and you also want to make sure that in some way it's unique. Now, there's all kinds of products out there that will spin your content to make it pass on the same message, but make it look and read differently or unique.
Hmm.
Uh, if you, and again, if you, as a reader of this book, if you go to our resources booklet that we've put together for you, you will actually get access to all these different tools that we use. So writing articles still works. Now, again, I'm going to give you a caveat. It better be a quality article. You don't want to be firing off a bunch of crap. One, article directories with the Google updates got hurt quite a bit too because there's a lot of crap on them. And so
Hmm.
they're a little pickier, a little bit more finicky now as to what they allow on their networks. Don't send out crap. Besides, it's your business. You don't want your business represented with crap.
Hmm.
So write out the articles. But very important, you can oftentimes put a link to your website in these articles. As an author, in the author box, you'll have a link to your website. And my recommendation, and this is something that I've seen people do time and time again, is they will go out and create all these backlinks to their website, but they're all going to the homepage.
Hmm.
Uh, so again, I'm going to take dog training as an example. Uh, if we're going to be talking about dog training and we're going to have an article on, say, house training your dog, I would want to have a page on my website that talks about house training a dog, and I would link that article to that particular page.
Hmm.
There's no sense bringing it to my homepage. My homepage is going to get a lot of links. But when you link deep inside your website, you're going to increase the value of that particular page, which if you link that page to, say, your homepage, it's going to lift it up as well. So articles still work, but make it relevant, make it a high quality article, change it up a little bit, and of course, make it unique as you submit it to other directories, and then link it back to the page on your site that that article is most relevant to. Now, something else that I've found that has still a lot of weight and still works, uh, particularly when you become an authority in your field, is the opportunity to become a guest blogger. Now, this is where you create your own content, you provide it to other blog owners. Most blogs, and Rob, I'm sure you would agree, are terribly neglected.
Yes.
And I mean, I'll be the first one to raise my hand and admit I'm just as guilty. A lot of my blogs should be better maintained than they have been. But that is one of the reasons why so many of these bloggers, particularly the high level bloggers, want fresh content to come in because it's very difficult to always maintain fresh new content on a regular basis. So
Hmm.
if you can develop authority in your field, you'll have lots of opportunities to share your knowledge, share your content in other blogs, and link it back. Is it an ideal way? It depends on what your goals are and what you want your website to do. There's probably quicker, easier, and simpler, faster ways to create quality backlinks to your website. And again, you're in the hands of somebody else. So, you know, you're really not taking care of you're really relying on somebody else to help your business. And not everybody is altruistic as we are. Which leads us to the next step, and that is leaving comments on blogs. Now, this was at one time a very effective means of ranking a website. I had um, a website about 6 years ago for my multi-level marketing business, and I had ranked it very well on the front page of Google. And one of the things that helped me with that is I was also very vocal on a industry blog run by a gentleman by the name of Troy Julie, and I was forever commenting on his blog, and that would give me just one extra backlink because I was able to have my website address, my name, and my email on every comment, and that would give me a backlink to my website. And I noticed that after a spike of activity commenting on this blog, the website went up.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of people discovered this as well, and they came up with automated tools that would go out and spam blog comments. And there isn't a day that goes by that I go into a website that I manage and there's a spam comment somewhere that I'm deleting and a spammer that whose IP I'm blocking. So again, if you're going to follow that piece of advice, you want to make sure that the comments you make are relevant to discussion at hand. You don't want to be selling anything. You don't want to be directing people to other links or to link on your website because that'll get you deleted right away. And you want to add value and contribute value to the conversation. If you miss any one of those points, you know what? You're not going to get that backlink and it's going to hurt you. So,
Well,
my advice, go ahead.
uh, the other day I was SEOing a site that was only a month old. It was out of New York, and I went into his WordPress site behind the scenes, and I was looking at the comment section. He had over 1,300 comments that were not live. The nice thing about WordPress is they'll block it before you can uh, approve it, and they were all junk. I mean, they were all spam. There was not one legitimate comment in there. And so the robots that are out there, these programs are still out there commenting on, you know, uh, blogs all day long. And it
Yep,
just seems to be more prevalent in bigger cities, New York, Philadelphia, uh, and San Francisco, LA. Not so much so in smaller towns. I think it's targeted to more bigger cities. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a website, you need to be um, vigilant on who's leaving comments on your site.
absolutely. Now, this is kind of a freebie for everybody, but if you have a WordPress site like Rob and I recommend, uh, there's a wonderful tool I like, and it's called IP Ban. It's a plugin. You can do a search on the WordPress plugin directory, install it into your site. Because every time these people leave a comment, these spammers leave a comment on your site, you can actually click a little link on the bottom of their comment that says ban IP, and they won't come back. Now, I had a client, she was an artist, and with her website, she was constantly getting comment spam uh, from all over uh, the world, but particularly from porn sites in China.
Mhm.
And subsequently, the by putting in this particular plugin, we were able to get that under control. Anyways, we're going a little off topic here. Uh, the other thing that we found that works very effectively is starting to publish your content. Now, what do I mean by publish? Well, You can create a Kindle book like we're in the process of doing right now uh, with this series of live casts, but you can publish live on Google Hangouts where you stream your content. You can take the content that you create from these live casts and you can create a video podcast. You can strip out the audio, create an audio podcast. From that, you can get a transcript and you can create an article. Now that's, or create a book. So right now, the new SEO, the most powerful search engine optimization that you can create outside your website is to publish your content and publish it everywhere. Where are some of the places you can go? I really like iTunes. This is why we're stripping out the audio and we're going to be sending the RSS feed of this particular audio to iTunes for people to download. Uh, it's a very valuable link coming back to us from Apple. At the same time, uh, having a link back to our websites from an author page on Amazon is a very powerful backlink to create for your website. Having backlinks to your website from video sharing sites such as Vimeo, Dailymotion, and YouTube are very powerful backlinks to have to your website. So to close off this chapter, the recommendation that I'm going to make to everybody that is reading this or watching this video is simply this. Backlinks are still very valuable and a pertinent way to increase the value or the rankings of your web page on the search engines. But you have to do it right. You have to do it smart. You have to backlink to win. So what that means is make sure that you're getting backlinks from a relevant site to your site and not from something that would be raise some eyebrows or be a little shady. Uh, do I would suggest as much work as you can manually. Yes, it's a lot of work, but it shows up as being natural. Try to avoid the bots that's going to have you comment on other people's WordPress blogs. You're going to get shut down as a spammer very quick. And publish your content and syndicate your content everywhere. I mean, if you have valuable content and valuable stuff to share, send it out. And you will have, uh, as a result, high quality backlinks coming in. You'll be an authority in your industry and you will find that that will give you more value and higher rankings in the long run than anything else that you can do at this point in time. You got to see a lot, didn't you? I might be edited up. Anyway, anything you need to add to that, Rob?
No, I think we've covered